joined before. Ezekiel said he was not feeling fine, using medication. I've not heard from him. Okay, Jordan is back now. I guess Jasmine will join us in a bit.
I said
Timileyin
someone
was
was
on the
trying
call
to,
before.
yeah,
What you
okay.
say?
Someone was trying to join, like,
There's
someone was trying
nobody
to
trying
join.
to join at the moment.
Okay, it was Timileyin.
Yeah, I admitted him then, like when he sent a message to the group chat. I was on the call. So I'll just give a brief primer on sovereign AI and federated learning. And then if Jasmine joins us before I'm done, would would hear from her. If Timileyin joins too, we'll hear from him. Else, we'll just call it a day there and prepare for the games week and next week's presentation. I just need like a minute. Hello, please can you just confirm again that you can hear me?
We can hear you.
Hello? Yeah. So we're supposed to take presentations from Bright and Jasmine, but Jasmine is not yet available and Bright is not picking up, so he's not online, he's not picking up his calls. So I'll just go ahead to share about sovereign AI and federated learning. So if at any point you can't hear me, please do let me know. If you have any questions, any contributions, please do share with me. Right. So about sovereign AI, right? Let's drill back to the meaning of the word sovereignty. By becoming a sovereign state, it means that you are independent, you are on your own, and you are not under the influence of any external force. You are not subject to anybody, and you are like you're existing exclusively on your own, right? So when you now come to the artificial intelligence context within Africa, within the African context also, sovereign AI means that Africa is able to control the entire value chain of artificial intelligence from chips and data to actual intelligence that is used for insights. That's the concept that sovereign AI holds. So if you want to explain the value chain of artificial intelligence, it goes from actually sourcing the data, gathering the data, structuring the data, cleaning the data, getting insights from the data. And then it comes to compute infrastructure too. What chips are used, what power is used, what energy is used, which data centers are is data resident in, right? That's also part of it. And then it now comes to like actual administration, the foundation models, sorry, the models of artificial intelligence, that are used to administer the insights across whatsoever aspects that is used for. Um, yeah, please, if at any point my voice is no longer clear, do let me know. And part of the insights that I found across my study in the past week was a startup called Amini, right? AMINI, and they work in the area of helping countries, especially countries in the global majority. I believe the word global majority should not be alien to us again. Helping countries in the global majority to build sovereign artificial intelligence, and this speaks to like helping them integrate AI across different sectors, helping them integrate AI within government for people, and to just maximize the benefits that artificial intelligence can bring for them. And they recently worked with what's this country? With Barbados Islands. Yes, they recently worked with Barbados Islands. I don't know if you saw my status recently where I was talking about Prime Minister Mia Motley, right? So she's the Prime Minister of Barbados Islands, and they shipped data centers, or they built data centers in shipping containers for Barbados Island because it's an island, of course. And so they had to ship the data center infrastructure, the chips and the servers and all. They had to ship them to the island, and I think they actually left them in shipping containers, right? So it was a very modular, mini way to go about powering data centers. And Barbados Island is a very small country. They're actually an independent country, but they are just, I think they say there are less than 300,000 people on that island, right? So they are sort of like maximizing everything that they can use. So solutions like Amini are solutions that give hope. And I forgot to add, Amini is developed by an African. She was working at NVIDIA before. Her name is Kate Carlo. It's Carlo, right? So she was working at NVIDIA before, and she came to Africa. She came back, she left her job at NVIDIA to come and build Amini, and is based in Kenya, right? So that's just one of the areas. Then there's, what's it called? There's Lelapa AI. So they're a natural language processing artificial intelligence startup for African languages. In the course of our study of artificial intelligence, there's something that keeps like reverberating. It's called the African context, the African context, the African context, the African context. Because many of these artificial intelligence tools were trained outside of Africa. I don't know. I feel like turning my video on. I don't look so good, but I like to see my face. Just give me a moment. Why does it look so dark? My light is on. Oh my. I don't think you guys can see me. Hmm? I just came outside my house now. Can you guys see me?
Yes, I'm seeing you now.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah. So let's go ahead. Um, I was talking about Barbados Islands, Amini, sovereign AI, shipping containers. I'm trying to like pull my train of thought back. Yes, so about um the African context in AI technology, right? So we find that a lot of the things by which artificial intelligence is trained, they are trained on Western data, they are trained on foreign data. And this data does not account for the different nuances that exist in the African continent or across Nigeria. Imagine you are building an AI tool that requires imagine you are building an AI tool that requires 24/7 power or 24/7 internet connectivity. But that's not what we have in Africa, right? So you see that when you bring that technology, even if it has been producing value outside the continent, when you bring that technology to Africa, it becomes handicapped because there's not enough broadband and there's not enough energy to power that artificial intelligence to, right? So that becomes a problem. Another thing that you find is that what even made me, because I've been hearing that African context for a while, right? But I read a paper recently and it was about public health. And what was found was that the way symptoms for malaria, or was it flu, the way they interact in the bodies of African is quite different from how they interact in the bodies of foreigners, right, or people outside the continent. So when you bring AI tools that are supposed to diagnose sicknesses, and the way people respond to these diseases are different, then the AI tool starts to miss, right? So it is important that artificial intelligence tools are domesticated in that sense. And in this sense, they shouldn't even be domesticated. They should be built locally, with trained on local data, to get local insights to work for the local people, right? So there's also this thing about my inference from Lelapa AI, which is a natural language processing artificial intelligence startup in South Africa, right? The importance for artificial intelligence to be available in people's local languages is because when people can imagine that the Fulani guy, let me paint this vivid example for us. I once heard of a solution that informal economy people, like people that they don't have corporate entities for their businesses, that they can use to log their transactions on, like make financial logs of their transactions, like to make books in that sense, right? So they can just dictate to the artificial intelligence, or they can type it on WhatsApp, and it records the transaction. And at the end of the day, it pulls up like an Excel sheet for them to use. Like they can now gain insights from the work they have done. So now imagine that, like, let's say 50% of all the northerners that are doing business in Abuja cannot speak English, but they all have smartphones, they all have WhatsApp. But this tool epistemically is inaccessible for them because the AI tool cannot understand their language. Imagine this guy could just press mic or mute and start speaking in Hausa to the AI, and the AI is taking notes. Like that opens a whole new economy. Like it can work across Kano, across Kaduna, and everybody can now see that, oh, this is how much I spent on this is how much I spent on this is how much I spent on this. And they're able to make more intelligent decisions. In fact, the artificial intelligence can help them. Okay, you need to restock. Okay, this good has gone down, this good has gone down, this good has gone down. Like it just makes things faster for them. And in many of these places where these people exist, there's broadband access, they have solar to charge their phones. So things like energy and internet connectivity are already bridged, right? And a host of other things. When you come to African context in solutions, is a whole new ballgame. So that's why there's an importance for us to see the advent of natural language processing startups. There's a lot of them. I think there's this one called Awari by Silas Adekunle. Silas Adekunle was once named the richest AI engineer in the world, right? So I've spoken about natural language processing, and I've spoken about the data centers and sovereign AI architecture in that sense, right? I just want to check in with Jasmine and Timileyin before I go into federated learning, because I don't want the call to hold for too long. We are 20 minutes late, or 20 minutes behind schedule already. So Timileyin, Bright was supposed to make a presentation this week. In fact, two presentations at that. But I've tried his line, I've texted him, and he's not responding. Are you able to take those two presentations, or we should wait till some other time where Bright is available?
He sent a message to the group. He's trying to join the meeting. I am sure he'll be able to take the presentations. You can check the group message.
All right, all right. Jasmine, are you able to take the presentation from last week regarding education? All right. Okay. If we have more time, I would share with us about federated learning. But Jasmine, please, you can start sharing your screen. But on the grand scheme of things, sovereign AI is a perspective through which we can approach AI solutions across the African continent, ensuring that nations across Africa and the global majority by extension are not subject to exploitation and neo-colonialization by foreign powers. I hope the English was not too big. I will now step back and let Jasmine continue presentation on AI policies regarding education. Jasmine, you have to.
Can you see my screen? Let me.
Can you what? I can see your screen. That's what you're
Can
asking.
you see my?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I will begin now. So, good evening, everyone. Me and Daniel's topic was supposed to be AI policies regarding education. So I'll be discussing how lecturers and students use AI, what it does to critical thinking, why infrastructure and policy will decide, and why infrastructure and policy will decide whether Africa's classroom benefits. Okay, so this is a table of content, essentially on what's going to be covered, the use of AI in classroom, its effect on cognitive development, infrastructural gaps, widening divide, and policy direction. Okay, so first section, AI in the classroom today, right? Okay, so this is like essentially it's just listening how lecturers like use AI currently. So they use it for educational design and research by drafting lesson plans, scanning literature, summarizing findings, generating exam questions, and proofreading students like essays and stuff. Yeah. And then it's also used for administrative efficiency. It's used to automate repetitive tasks. It's used to free up time for the substance of teaching. It's used to tailor feedback to individual students as it's here. And it used to adapt assessment formats without manual overload. So these are the kind of tools that lecturers may use. Like GPT, Gemini, Grammarly, Notebook LM, and Google Scholar. Right. So they use graph material, summarize, research, and yeah, that thing too. Yeah. And so now we're going to be talking about how students use AI. So they use it as adaptive learning platforms. So AI it helps with tracking student data and adjust to individual learning pace in real time. Oh, sorry about my name. I hope you can still hear me. That's okay. Uh, Helps in closing comprehension gaps without constant teacher intervention. So essentially, just help students to learning at their own pace. Then there's intelligent tutoring system. Uh, it extends personalized attention to students who would otherwise lack access to well-staffed classrooms or private teachers. Yeah, this kind of works for like marginalized. And then it helps with translation and local language tools increasingly support local and indigenous languages, making complex curricula more accessible to non-native speakers. So it essentially helps like students who are non-native speakers to learn as well through like translating their language to their own local language. I think that. So yeah. Okay. And now we'll move on to the next section, which talks about the effect on cognitive development. AI's impact on how students think is a double-edged sword. The outcome depends on structure, not the technology. So, a double-edged sword. Cognitive offloading. This is unguided use. So, without instructions from like teachers to students on how they should use AI, right? AI would like it functions only as an answer machine. So it's just a shortcut that students exploit and it's not a resource that they engage with. So they don't make use of critical thinking, and like they are left with only copying results. But then structured use is when they are being guided on how to use AI for their cognitive development by their teachers. So with structured prompting and guided interaction, AI becomes a thinking partner. Students pause, reflect, and test their own assumptions, strengthening critical reasoning rather than eroding. Okay, from use to outcome. So unguided AI use, right, by students, it leads to cognitive offloading. Like there is no cognitive development taking place, as I explained earlier. And then when there's guided AI use by like teachers, when they help, there is reflective engagement with the AI, and it helps them to like with their cognitive development because high order assessment over them. Yeah. And then we move to the third section. It talks about infrastructural gaps. Even sound pedagogy runs into uneven physical and human infrastructure, most acutely across African institutions. Okay, cool. The infrastructure stuff. So you see all these energy, compute, connectivity skills, all of these are needed for they are needed for AI to be used to its full potential in helping students. So first, energy is needed, reliable power for networks and cooling. That's actually like, no, I was supposed to talk about the topic that I chose for this week is AI, is it AI data centers or just data centers in Africa? And so like for them to run effectively, they need like a cooling system. So yeah, that's something that is not available as of now in Africa. And then there's compute, domestic data center and the processing capacity. We have neither. We don't really have any. I think we have some, but I think it's not being. Maybe it is being. I'm not sure. Sorry about that. So yeah, we don't have a lot anyway, especially in Nigeria here. We don't really have very functional one in any case. And then there's connectivity, affordable bandwidth and access. Essentially, it's just talking about people's connection to the internet and how it's very bad. So it kind of hinders the use of AI to help students. And then there's skills, trained educators who can integrate AI critically. You know how I was saying that like when students are guided on how they should use AI, it helps them, like it helps to further their cognitive development. So when we don't have teachers that know how to guide the students on how to use AI, it kind of it doesn't help their cognitive development. So a shortfall at any of these links limits what AI can safely do in the classroom. AI cannot reach its full potential to helping students if any of these four links in the infrastructure stack are missing. I hope that was understandable. Divide that deep. So yeah, these are just like main divides or exclusions that like worsen the problem. Yeah, so let's talk this section. Data and epistemic exclusion. Models trained on English, Western-centric data render African languages and knowledge systems invisible or misinterpreted. This essentially just talks about foreign bias. We use foreign AI, and so the is is tailored to life in their country and on their side of the world, not for us. So you know how I was talking about like how AI could help students like that are non-native speakers with translations and stuff like that. The AI models that we use now are essentially trained on English and Western centric data. So it's not really of much use to students. Students are not part of their country. Students like over here that don't speak English very well, they don't understand English. So yeah, that's the data and epistemic experience. Then we have the rural urban divide. Well-resourced schools experiment with AI integrated pedagogy. Poorer schools revert to proctored paper-based exam. Essentially, what that is saying is that, like, right, what that is saying is that there are schools like all these marginalized rural areas that do not, they can't even afford AI. So they don't have the resources to even try to experiment with AI or to integrate it into like the school, integrate it into school activities, kind of, yeah, school operations and stuff like that. Because like they don't have the funding to do that. Well-resourced schools can in the same country, but other schools can't. So that's like a problem, and that's like a divide between schools that can afford it and cannot afford to integrate AI. And then you have gender digital divide. Women and girls typically have less access to technology and face greater scrutiny over their digital use. I think this one like is easy enough to understand. Just because of stereotypes, I don't know if I'll say that. But yeah, it's a let's say it's a normal thing. Unfortunately, that yeah, women and girls have less access to technology, especially it's just maybe in like undeveloped areas where they don't believe women should be doing this kind of thing. So they have less access to it because I guess they don't believe that they should be tampering with technology. And then we have the disability access gap. AI could assist through voice tools or dyslexia screening, but this potential remains largely unrealized here. It's kind of it's saying that AI could be used a lot to help people with disabilities, assisting through voice tools for like children who can't speak, and then dyslexia screening. Like, I don't know how to see. So what they're saying is that AI could be used to help children with disabilities, but the potential remains largely unrealized. So I guess we just haven't tried to make use of it to help. And now we move to our last section towards sustainable policy. A shift from reactive tool adoption to strategic human-centered policy built around transparency, inclusion, and local audit. Okay, so this last part talks about policies, sort of recommendations. Yeah, that we hope would help with somewhat integrating AI into educational process and letting it like realize its full potential to help children. So the first is transparency, not prohibition. We should mandate the disclosure of AI use and build internal validation mechanisms that audit tools practice. So essentially, oh, kind of, so I guess it's saying that they should not stop the use of AI, but they should rather be transparent when AI is being used. Like maybe in when students are making use of AI, yeah, for like writing essays, doing homework, they should not say that, oh, stop using AI, but more of like, okay, yeah, let me know, like disclose when you are using AI, right? And then they should help them, they should create all these tools that help to test the accuracy of what the AI is giving them. And then they should be like, sorry about that. Sorry, I think it was that. Yeah, yeah, it's inside. Sorry, I get back to it. Then inclusivity by design. Support AI, incentivize culturally reflective data sets and target the gender digital side. So yeah, I think this one is self-explanatory, hopefully. It's essentially just support our locally made AI models, incentivize culturally reflective data sets. Yes, so let the data being used by AI data centers be reflective of different places. Let it not just be Western based, but like for us as well. Let it be based on sorry about that. Let it be based on our culture as well. Sorry about that. I hope you can still see. Okay, sorry about that. Good. Human-centered learning, a pedagogy-first strategy. Choose technology only after educational goals
Yeah,
are
if you're
clearly
sharing your
defined.
screen.
Yeah, I am. Can you see?
No, I cannot.
Okay, sorry. Let me get back to the- so please let me know when or if you can see it. Okay, can you see it now?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's coming up. I can see it now.
Okay. So you can see it, right?
Yeah, affirmative.
Okay. So, human-centered learning, choose technology only after educational goals are clearly defined. Um, I think maybe this is just a problem of like schools, I guess, because they are hearing that, oh, AI is coming up, AI is coming up. They try to adapt AI without really knowing what they themselves want to do with the AI first. So they should define what they aim to accomplish with their students first, or what they want their students to accomplish and how they want them to do it. And then they should like implement technology in the way they think that it will help their goals. That's what I think. And then for number four, adaptive regulation. Regulatory sandboxing and synthetic governance help human judgment without computational insight. So I think, but I think that number four talks about creating regulations for the AI being used. Yeah, in such a way that like, oh, human judgment and computational insight is being used to define, I don't know, limits and regulations for the use of AI. I hope that makes sense. Sorry. And then we have community data ownership, the last one, community data ownership. Locally governed data trust prevents data poverty and extractive practices by global tech firms. So it essentially just talks about us being in control of our own data. Because when we use AI models by other countries, they make use of our data. I don't like the thing is called, but I can't remember. Neo something. So they take our data, essentially. So what this one is saying is that when we have our own local AI data systems, that we can keep our own data and we don't have to make use of other models which extract our data. So this way we get to keep our data and not govern our data. So yeah, AI's role in education isn't fixed. Or in closing, AI's role in education isn't fixed. Whether it becomes a shortcut that erodes critical thinking or a scaffold that strengthens it depends on the structure lecturers build around it and on the infrastructure and policy choices made now while the technology is still young enough. Thank you. Sorry, that was really long. But yeah, I'm done.
Yes, Jasmine, virtual round of applause. Awesome, awesome. Yes, so the floor is open for questions, contributions. However, Bright, you can start sharing your screen. Any questions, any contributions?
Uh, this is just like contribution. Can you guys hear me very clearly?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah, this thing is it's just something that everybody like when me I can relate it a lot. In that as students we use AI a lot and the way AI is affecting learning nowadays is becoming something else. And I love the fact that there was emphasis on guided. It's not that you should not use it. You can't at this rate you can't actually stop the students from not using AI, but you can actually help them use it the right way because you're actually forcing them from not using it. Yeah, you're just like indirectly doing yourself. So yeah, as a student, it's something we all can relate to that.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I can't. Are you asking a question? Please, can you
No,
talk
no,
a
no,
bit
no, no,
slower? I can't hear what you're saying.
no, no, no.
Okay, then no problem.
Don't be afraid. Okay, I was just saying that it is something, I mean, as students, you can relate to. That's basically what I was just saying that, I mean, this particular typical area of education is something you can relate to. How that, they will give up, I mean, practically speaking now, not to waste time, you just give assignment and then all you do is just give it to AI and then you copy what AI give. Like, that's like the typical life of the student, sha. So, but at this point, you can't actually stop them from not using it, but you can actually help them use it properly. And I feel like it's not done in most of our schools. They just give you to just go and find the answers. They don't care how you do it. In fact, most of them know that you actually use AI, but they shall just give it for the sake of giving it. So I feel like they should actually not stop us from using AI at the same time. They should help us use AI the right way. So basically, I was just trying to like add to what you said. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Thank you so
basically,
much.
that is essentially what I said. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's nice, awesome presentation there, Jasmine. I believe
Thank you.
Daniel was super happy that worked on that presentation, right? So then I'm looking forward to you guys, say rather to your LinkedIn post on the program. Right. So I think we're now in week 8 of the policy review, if I'm not wrong. So barely have 8 more weeks to go. That's right about 2 months. So let's say third week of September. So there's a lot to still unravel. Like, um, Bright, can you confirm that you can hear me?
Yes,
Hello,
sir.
sir.
I can hear you. I can hear you, sir.
So I want you to just tell me which slide you want to share, and I'll share from my end.
Okay. I think the one from last week will do. Or the. Sorry. The. I think I'm more confident about the one from last week. I don't know if I missed any other presentation. Okay. Yes. Yes. That was the one we were not able to cover up. Um. But I think the one from last week would do. I wasn't able to present properly last week.
I'm trying to find it. Did you guys send it to the group chat?
Uh. Let me see if I can. 1 minute, please. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh no. The Lord is my shepherd. Oh.
Ah, gift. How fun.
Don't mind me, sir. Hold on. 1 minute, please. Sir. 1 minute, please.
Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, yes, yes.
Alright. So, Bright, can you see my screen? Hello, Bright, can you see my screen? Bright, you are speaking, I can't hear you. Mr. Bright, so the network has gone off again. I just stopped sharing my screen. I want to get feedback on that. You wish and flowers and heartache, heartache, I you, your spirit and the desire, Price, can you hear me? We cannot keep waiting on the call forever. We have kept up the call. So just wait for him to join back. If he doesn't join back, Jasmine will guide to put us through what will be happening during the games week. And after that, we'll call it a day. So just give few minutes for Bright to join back again.
The slides for last week. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Wait a second.
It's Timileyin.
Yeah, what's up?
I said the slides for last week. If you are able
Yeah.
to display it from your end, maybe I can make the presentation since Bright is experiencing network issues. That is maybe
So,
after the next presentation, please. Sorry for the delays.
if you are ready now, we can take it now. I have decided.
I need to get some few things in place before I will be able to do that. So
Interesting. Gift, talk to
but
me now. Um, yeah, it's me. You can meet your mic. Gift, I saw that you uploaded a new slide to the Google Drive on that this week. What's up?
Yeah, I was actually planning on presenting, sha. I did not like touch
Was it not
that. I
complete
did
your
not touch the
sentence? I did
topic.
not hear it.
Did not touch the topic. But for me, I did not touch the topic very well last week. So I see the topic of it.
So is it like you found you did the research, like you went deeper on it, or you want to take us through what you took us through last week,
Yeah,
but like it in a better way?
no. I did another. I mean, more like a new presentation
We're
for it.
supposed to wait till next week to do new presentation.
There's no problem, sir. You can always be altered.
No, we can actually take it. Since wait, Brad is back here. Brad, what's the situation of things now? If I share the screen, can you present it? Brad, can you hear me? Hmm. So give back to you, right? So we're supposed to like pick a topic or do whatever we intend to do across last week and this week we're about to enter and present next week Sunday, right? So what would that look like for you? Is it that like you still prefer to go with this week and come back to present next week Sunday, or you present this week and pick a new topic for this coming week about center? Because this week is games week. I don't know. What do you say?
I really pick a topic, pick a new topic apart from this one that I'm presenting on.
All right, now please go ahead to share your screen. Let's have it.
Okay, give me like some seconds.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so I'm coming. So can you guys see the screen currently?
Yes, I believe so. It's still showing GH, but I'm
What
sure
do you
it's
say?
my network. Yeah, I can see your screen now. Oh, okay. I can see your screen.
Okay, yeah, so
Oh,
this
yeah,
is the
let's try to work with 10 minutes. If you are speaking, I can't hear you. I can still see your screen, sir. Hello. Hello, guys, can you hear me? Yeah,
hello, hello.
yeah. I
Can you
can hear
guys
you
see
now.
my screen now?
Yeah, we can hear you
Yeah, we
and we
can
can
see
see
it.
your screen. Please go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay, so this is 709. AI media and the creative economy. So basically, I talked about how last week AI has affected the creative economy, that the creative economy had some impact on the how what am I saying? So how AI has affected the creative economy in the fact of how that AI now does, what people actually sit down for a lot of time and do. AI actually now do those things within, few hour time. So
Because we can't hear you again. We can't hear you again. Hmm. It's not issues. What's going on? Hello, Bright, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. I
Okay,
can hear you, sir.
okay. Your network went off for a while. Yeah, Bright, you can mute your mic.
Hello.
Hello, what's up now?
I
Please
did
share
not know
your
that I
screen
was
and talk to
off.
me.
I was basically speaking to myself. For how long was I off?
Ah, well, since you began, because it's only your first time, so we never see anything again.
Wow. Wow. It's okay. I don't know. Is it my I don't know if it's my network or what's causing this thing, Sha.
It's your
So I don't
network,
know.
oh,
Should
it's
I
your
continue
network.
or someone is about to present?
Go ahead, sharp. Go ahead.
You guys can see my screen now.
Yeah.
See this thing down. Okay, so yeah, basically. Did you guys see the screen before the network went off? Hello. Okay, you guys not see the
No.
screen. So basically, I spoke to myself for about some minutes. Okay, no problem. I'll reiterate again. So I was saying that the global context has shifted from having to do things by yourself, meaning that you will come and employ people or have to learn new skills to do things in the creative industry. It has now moved to a prompt-driven orchestration, meaning that if I want to get something done, I can get it like at the comfort of my home. I don't need to like get people to employ people. I don't need to get labor and all that. It has now make it more easy. And the repercussion is that it has brought about democratization, meaning that it has now lowered a lot of entry for a lot of people, meaning that for me to go into the creative world now, I basically don't need to learn how to do edit video in a manner of speaking. I just need to know how to use the AI very well. And that has caused a lot of market saturation, meaning you see a lot of rubbish content, some that are good, some that are not good. Like it has really made the market so diffused that people that don't really know the market where they also say, I mean, me too, I want to do content. I know different people are online for different kind of stuff, and that has made the market a bit more bad in a manner of speaking. And in that way now, due to a lot of people in the market, that's driven down the and the price, that's value compression for people. So I don't want to waste time. Next slide. So the current legal landscape. So basically now for purely generated content, there are like there's no you cannot be referencing AI. I think I mentioned this last week that on your reference after writing a report, you cannot go and come to the reference and put Google Gemini 2026. That no, that's not accepted on the current legal landscape. So meaning that if you want to use AI, you have to, I mean, there has to be human edit. It cannot be that AI will be the author of what you are doing. AI can only help you edit some things. Meaning that if you generate things fully from AI, it is under the legal current landscape. It is not considered like you cannot reference AI to say that this is AI that generated it for me. It's not currently accepted. So it is only AI assisted and human generated content, meaning that the human has to still be present and AI will help you edit. That's what is accepted. Now, for the training data now, currently now, a lot of people are having issues on the training data, meaning that there are current limitations and litigations for text and data mining. I hope you guys can see hear me, please.
Yes, sir.
Jesus.
Yeah, we can.
We can hear you and we
Okay.
can see you.
Okay, thank you, Jesus. Okay, let me continue. So basically now, deepfakes now has now brought about a crisis of trust, meaning that deep deepfakes. I believe we all know what deepfakes are. First of all, let me know assume. I believe we all know, Sha.
Yeah, I think so. Like
Okay,
very
so we
fake
all know what deep.
video that is difficult to tell
What do you say?
from original. Like very fake AI videos that is difficult to tell from the original one.
Exactly. So yeah, basically that's it. Deep fakes from the name, you can always get the meaning. So deep fakes are now becoming rampant. So deepfake represents like one of the most like that's like one of the most disastrous effect of AIs. I mean, one of the most disastrous effect of AIs. And at this point now, the use of creating 3D personas from just one single document has now, shifted us from, making us be able to identify digital content and verify them. I'll talk about this later, how that we need to focus more on how to identify content rather than just, scrutinizing them by eyes. So let's continue. So what are the economy and ethical risks that this thing has caused? Basically, it has caused identity theft. Okay, I think I mentioned it in this slide. Okay, identity theft, meaning that different cloning of voices, people mimicking each other. I mean, I believe we have all seen videos of how different stuff happen, how that I believe there was a time we shared content on all this generated AI that's causing rubbish. Like basically those videos that we see in a matter of speaking, they are actually identity theft and they are unauthorized. Like meaning that there was one that I sent specifically that this guy was beating up his teammates because they lost. So those kind of stuffs are actually part of the risk of AI in the creative industry. Also, job annihilation, meaning that I talked about this last time, how that very soon now, the low entry jobs for creative roles, people like graphic designers that are still coming up, AI have already replaced them like completely. Like at this rate, if you are a low level creative and graphic designer, there's no job for you again because ChatGPT has replaced you. So and also the revenue is diluted, meaning that there is no cost for synthetic content, and meaning that both the human artists that sing and both AI generated this thing, both of them they are receiving the same amount, and that's not supposed to be. So those are like the risks, and these are now the policy recommendations. Now, I think I'll take time to explain this a bit. Coalition for content provenance and authenticity. That's the meaning of C2PA, in case you are wondering. And what's the meaning? Basically, it is a way of adding adding proof to your content to show whether it is AI generated or not. Yeah, it is somewhat related to what Google is doing. In a manner of speaking, Google is like trying to create a watermarking what's it called idea, that's sync ID, to identify it, this thing. But this C2PA, that's the coalition for content provenance and authenticity, is basically like a metadata that is going to be attached to every of our media files online. And encoded in the metadata is going to be whether it is AI generated, where the origin is, which whether all these contents, basically they are meant to have their C2PA. And from that metadata from the C2PA, you can actually verify whether it is AI or not, it's AI generated or not. So that's one of the ways that we can do this. And I think the EU AI Act, the drafted one, I think it's going to be implemented next month. based on what I read, I don't know how to share August 2nd, next August 2nd, that's when they're going to implement it. This thing is part of their new draft for the year Act that all AI providers should add the watermarking to their, to their system. Also, likeness rights, meaning that federal protections, codifying federal protection against unauthorized voice and synthesis, meaning that, like, what I mean by likeness rights is basically, can you guys still hear me, Sha? Because I know,
Yes, 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 yes.
even
We
though I've
can
taken
hear
a
you.
We
lot of
can.
time. Sorry, let me check. Omo, sorry, let me just rush through. I've taken a lot of time. Likeness rights and mandatory data audit disclosure mandates. I'll basically still explain most of these things in the ones to come. Yeah, so this was what I was talking about that the EUA Act has implemented, meaning that every of your content generated from AI must be labeled. Every of your users must know that they are interacting with AI, and there must also be disclosure, meaning that if you generated this thing with AI, you must also let us know. Like those are included article, part of the included article in the EUI Act. Next slide. I'm really behind time now. So this is like a case study that happened in 2024, in February 2024 to be precise. What happened was that, yeah, the name of the group was Aaipr Group. Some group of guys, they tried to scam a finance worker. So they now like mimic a video kind of call. So the chief finance officer, that's the CFO of the company, they kind of generated the guys. I don't know how they did this. They kind of generated the guy's presence in the call, and then they were using his voice to speak with that finance officer, and then that in a way they were able to convince the guy of transferring $25 million, 25.6 million into a fraudulent account by just using AI to generate the guys and all that. And all of these were all caused by AI generated deep fake trained on public footage. So based on from that experience, $25 million is not a small money, by the way. It's a lot of money. So considering such type of cases now in the how AI affects the creative industry, we now know that it's no longer video presence is no longer a process for choice, meaning that if I'm actually video calling, like if I'm actually calling someone online, I don't actually trust. There's these updates that Zoom added to their feature. Like I think it's also in Google Meet where you can generate background. And to me, in a manner of speaking, they are actually making us able to lie. Like we can actually like fake our what's it called? And those are like one of the effects where it advantage. So if you're in a bad background, you can augment your background with like different backgrounds. So those are like part of AI generated. Well, they are deep fakes, but I mean Google Meet is using it in a good way, but people are like misusing stuff like that to like now scam people. So yeah, let's go on to, I think this is the last one. Yep. So let me just use like a minute or so to explain this. So basically, what are the safeguards to this? So we should include multi-factor authentication, meaning that beyond biometric face, beyond like having to, speak with people and all that, since we know that AI can actually clone voice and all that, we should use code words. I don't know how applicable that is in some kind of scenarios. More like, for example, now if I'm speaking, and if I speak a particular code, or like there was this movie that I watched. I've forgotten the title of the movie. There was a way those guys identify if they are speaking with themselves. Like it is only known internally within themselves. So if those kind of like authentication can be adopted, it will kind of curb the kind of risks that are associated with most of these deepfakes, and also the human defense, meaning that workers are also basically should be aware. I feel like that guy that was scammed, he would have noticed some loops, but it will just be like new to him that since the fact that he was like seeing the what's it called? He was seeing the CFO. That's it. That was still like the what's it called? One of the things that they used to fool him. So basically, these are like safeguards to be done. So I think I have touched everything on this slide already. If you have any question, contribution, yeah, basically. this is how it has affected the creative economy and what should be done in order to help them, mitigate risk and all. I think I spent 13 minutes. Thank you very
Wow,
much.
wow, wonderful, 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 wonderful. I enjoyed the presentation. And I was reading this deep fake thing, like it even goes beyond just media. I was reading this book, AI 2041, and it was talking about how like they were even using deep fakes to affect like people's voting decisions because they were using deep fakes to create clones of political figures and making them to say things they actually were not saying. Like the thing go on and on and on and on, sir. You started joining on two devices. Can you hear me?
Yes, 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 yes. I'm trying to live on my
Okay,
laptop.
okay. Yeah, so I enjoyed the presentation and yeah, I think this is a useful information for people that are in like ministry or digital economy and all because that inflow of slope, what's the word? Like low quality content is getting really, really serious. And a lot of it is not censored. So hopefully we'll see more development in digital watermarking for digital content. Does anybody have any feedback or questions for this before we go ahead? So I'll take it as though they are none. Brian, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Can you I'm going to share my screen now and you can take your presentation. Please let's try to be fast and let's keep it time. Can you see my screen?
All right, sir.
Yeah,
Can
we
you see
can.
my
Not yet. Uh, not yet. I I can see that you're sharing your screen, but I can't see your screen.
screen? Is that the same for everybody? Or just you?
Oh, I can see it too.
So I really don't think it's. I think everyone can see your screen, but I think it's just network issues here.
Like, is there anything you can do about this network issue?
Sir?
Is there anything you can do about this network issue?
Well, I think my hands are tied at this point. I actually stay in a settlement. I would not call it a place or a city or whatsoever. I stay in a settlement where um it's a village that has modern structures and there is little to nothing I can do about this network issue. I think it has always been like this and it's should I say it's unfortunate that I this is going to be my residence for a while. The only way I can boycott the entire system is to have a major upgrade, not using the traditional network providers. I think your screen just came up now, so
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Brian?
I can I can hear you, sir.
So you know what you do for us? You will do a screen recording of your presentation and you send it to the group chat.
Okay,
Does that work for you?
that will work, sir.
Yeah. So let's just record it after the call. Record it and send to the group chat. We can watch it and give you our feedback. Yeah, because these network issues it keeps like just taking us around in circles. Wait a bit, we can't hear you. We can hear you. We can't hear you again. We can't see your screen. Just keep screen on and off. So I think it's just easier for everybody if you just send a recording of the presentation to the group chat and where we can all watch it. Right. So on that note, I think we've come to the end of presentations for today. So pending when Bright sends that presentation, we'll go ahead. Right. So I believe we picked topics Ezekiel, I've not heard from Ezekiel for a while. I hope he's doing better. He said you're not feeling fine. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, so I think it's the last person that is not here with us. Right. So I believe we picked topics that we're working on for last week and this week. So we'll be presenting them next week. Next week we'll try to be more stringent with time. Right. So we'll try to be more stringent with time. Because if we have a full house next week, this 2 hours probably won't be enough. Right. And please just try to join early. We started our 20 minutes late today because we're not on the call. Right. And that's really sad. So Jasmine, I'll be calling you up shortly to take us through what will be happening this games week that we are in, right? Um, as I wrap up to hand over to Jasmine, work that is not seen cannot be rewarded. If you are working in AI policy, if you are learning about all these things, if you are doing all this research and you are not posting about it online, nobody will know. And I've tried to follow up with us to a point, but it seems we are not opportune or we just don't have the time to make the post. And I cannot enter your phone to come and post the post for you. So I can only keep encouraging you. And I will not kick you out of the policy review. I think I'm done kicking people out right now. So if you, I just want to appease the gods of your heart. Please make your post. God bless you as you do so. It's only for your own benefit. Like you only have what to gain from it. If you can post it on LinkedIn, post it on Twitter, post it on Instagram, post it on Stock Tag, everything else, but not your WhatsApp status. All right. So Jasmine, the floor is yours. What will this week look like for us?
Okay, I hope you can hear me. Sorry for the noise
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
There's no nice.
So, yeah. So next week, next week is activity week, and so
It's
essentially
this week that we are in. The week
week of
starts on
next week
Sunday.
from tomorrow. Sorry, this week. Sorry, Sunday. Straight. This week is activity week. And so for like every day of the week, we're going to be doing, I don't want to say particular activities, we're just going to be playing particular games. So I didn't really have much to work with because I think she suggest, but you not suggest. So I got things and I really hope that you enjoy it because, yeah. So I really hope that you enjoy it. It's not too bad. It's pretty okay. And so the kind of system is that, it's Ezekiel that is providing prize and uh the winner gets a prize. So I sent a poll on the group for like if you'll be available to join. And so only 4 people said they would be available. So I kind of planned around only 4 people. So yeah, but then if you will, if there's anyone here that did not vote on the poll, please vote on the poll by like this evening so I can plan around the 5th person. Okay, so there's not so much to say about it. I have a general flyer though for the week. I'll send it again and I think I'll pin it. So after the call, I'll send sorry, give me. Okay, I'm back. So sorry about that. So what I was saying is that after the call like is over, I'll send like the timetable of like the games that we'll be playing for every day of the week. And then so you know how I said that I planned around only to 4 people. So I kind of like we're going to be playing every day is going to be played with like a different partner and stuff. I'm going to send a timetable for that as well, based on the people that have voted. And then if you're still going to vote, please let me know so I can make a new one. And so you're just going to be playing a different game for a different game of the week. Some of them will be first to finish, and then some of them will be like something that you play against each other and win kind of thing. And then you'll be doing it like with partners and stuff. So yeah, essentially. I'll send a timetable after the call. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, guys, there's no work this week. Oh, yeah, there's work. Work I started last week, sir. But essentially, I believe we've started working on whatever work we'll be presenting next week. So this week is just for fun and all, just to enjoy yourself and chill from the policy, AI, artificial intelligence, policy, governance, blah blah. Just to like ease your mind and just feel okay, right? And just know that we are not here to suck anybody's blood, come to offer anybody as sacrifice, right? As much as we're trying to get stuff from a care that everybody feels among, feels, yeah. So please do well to engage. Do well to engage. It's just for fun. I know you play games on your phone. Why not just play it with somebody and just. And yeah, there'll be a prize at the end. That'll be disclosed later. But there'll be a prize at the end for whichever comes first. We're going to be winner take all, right? So please let's try to engage. As you can see, we are just an handful in the policy review now. So yeah, yeah. I think that's all I have to say. Does anybody have any questions, contributions, clarifications, addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, exponentiation before because it is anybody?
If I'm audible, sir.
Yeah, you are.
So, I actually, it's not like a contribution though. I want to, how do I even put it? Should I say apologize? Yes. It's not really a thing of, how do I put it? It's not my choice of action not to be able to have let's say, should I say, efficiency or in making some of these presentations that have been allocated. I've actually picked up
Right,
interest in
right,
projects, but
right. Can you hear me?
should I see?
Right, can
I
you hear
can
me?
hear you, sir.
See,
I
we
can
we
hear you. I
admire
can hear
your
you.
commitment. We admire your commitment, and I think I know where you're going. Right. And see, we are here to give you all the support that you need to keep showing up in this policy review. You do the work, you do the slides. It's just the network that is an asshole to present, right? So we can now find the workaround that you can present. You can like record the presentation and send it to us and can watch it. We are not holding it against you. I am not holding it against you. And I admire your commitment and I appreciate it. I don't want you to feel bad because your network is not good. I just wanted to be sure that there was actually nothing that could be done. And you've explained your position. And don't feel bad because of it. Don't be discouraged because of it. It's fine. Hmm?
Yes, sir. I thank you for that, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we
And also
appreciate it.
to
We appreciate it.
he has actually done quite a good work too.
I didn't tell that thing you said.
I said my teammates. He actually he assisted quite a lot with some of the activities, like for the work. So the,
Yeah,
the team
thank you so
projects.
much,
Yes.
Timileyin. Well done, Timileyin. So I think you guys can alternate the presentation one of these days. So maybe Timileyin can present, but I know Timileyin has some engagement sometimes at this time. So you guys
Yes.
can find the workaround about that. Right? So if the network is more stable, maybe you could take the presentation or something.
Yes, sir.
All right. I think that's all from my end. I don't think there's feedback form to fill this week because we apparently did not pick any topic to work on. If you have not filled last week's feedback form, I beg you have filled it too. Yeah, and let's have a good evening, guys. Bye bye. Get ready for the activity week. Mr. Timmy, what's up?
Nothing much. It was a mistake. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, good night.
No.